Hi, good morning. I'm here to talk about all of the various programs or some of the programs that Beyond Barnard is hosting in the summer of 2024. This is a condensed version of what was presented at the Summer in December info session on December 1st. So today we're going to talk about the Beyond Barnard internship program, the Liman Law Fellows program, and two new programs that Beyond Barnard is offering, the Zwas Community Impact Interns and the Richards Journalism Program. So first and foremost, hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Internship Programs and Special Initiatives here at Beyond Barnard. And I'm joined by Greg Triandis, our Director of Partnerships and Employer Relations, and AJ Ehrenstein, our Associate Vice Provost of Lifelong Success and Senior Advisor to the Provost. So the first program we're going to chat about is our flagship internship program here at Beyond Barnard called the Beyond Barnard Internship Program, BBIP. So you can see a bit of a syllabus here. We'll talk about the various details, benefits, eligibility, and requirements of the program, as well as some brief application tips. So first things first, BBIP or BBIP is Barnard's largest year-round funded internship program. It is available for students across all majors and departments. What we do is provide funding to support internships in all career fields. Now, the information I'm going to give you here today references what BBIP is like in the summer, or what the requirements are, forgive me, for summer 2024. Keep in mind that there is also an upcoming deadline for the spring BBIP program, as BBIP is year-round. It's offered in the summer, fall, and spring. So for summer 2024, across the length of the summer, there are 350 hours required during that summer time period. The way that those hours are distributed, the number of hours you work per week, and what the job looks like itself is something you determine with your internship supervisor. As this is not a paid wages position, it is rather funding that is provided by us via stipend. The exact contours of the hours that you work is something you determine, again, with your supervisor. So those 350 hours that you spend interning at an organization must be an internship that is either unpaid or low pay. The idea here is that we're providing a bit of equity through our funding and programmatic support to students who have internships that would otherwise be unpaid or low paid. So what are some of the benefits while you're involved in your internship as you're exploring professional interests, potential career interests, or academic interests? What is it that you get as a part of this program if you're accepted? First and foremost, you get $4,500 as a stipend during the summer. Again, it's not wages paid out over a certain number of hours. The expectation is that you complete about 350 hours in order to receive this $4,500 stipend. You're also eligible for subsidized housing here on campus. If your internship is here in New York City, you're eligible for that subsidized housing. If you pursue an internship that is elsewhere, which is perfectly fine, you're not eligible for housing. In addition to that potential housing and the stipend, you'll be supported by a lot of programming here at Beyond Barnard, such as workshops, chats with BBIP alums, who are also, of course, graduated and Barnard alums, as well as a variety of professional development series. Further, you'll be a part of a very robust community of fellow interns, both current BBIP interns as well as past. In order to be eligible, a key feature here is that you do not need to have secured an internship at the time that you apply. So it's completely okay if you're thinking or to spend the next month or two, especially over the break, to think about the kind of internship that you want and to narrow it down. But it's okay if at the time that you apply, it isn't something that you have completely secured. You will, of course, have to indicate to us that you do have a secured internship shortly after the acceptance. And it's also something that we will confirm with your internship supervisor. So who is eligible for summer 2024? Current first years, sophomores, and juniors. Of course, if you're a senior and about to graduate, you're not going to be eligible for the summer cycle. International students are absolutely eligible. that we recommend starting very early to secure the CPT process, and that's something that you should speak to as soon as you can with ISS. Something we do want to highlight is that if you have received a BBIP grant before or various other kinds of grants, it's likely you'll be given lower priority than first-time applicants. And again, that's to try to ensure that everyone here at Barnard gets a fair shake at funded opportunities to pursue internships. And lastly, we think a great feature is that we're excited to fund you, whether it's an in-person, remote, or even a hybrid internship. So that's who's eligible. Now what's ineligible? Especially as 2024 is approaching, a big election year, any kind of work with a political campaign or other organization, religious or otherwise, that proselytizes is not eligible. Any kind of project that you might pursue with a student organization here on campus, including but not limited to service trips that require any kind of individual fundraising or program fees, are not eligible. And any kind of student who is pursuing any kind of entrepreneurial project, while we think that's incredible, is also not a formal internship and not something that's eligible for BBIP. So what are the requirements? It's not a whole lot. Again, that commitment to 350 hours total for the summer, and ensuring that that potential internship that you're hoping to get is unpaid or minimally compensated, or as we say, low pay. Those are the two key factors in ensuring that you're eligible, in addition to what I've just presented in the prior slides. Once you are accepted, you need to complete some paperwork for us. That includes a program agreement that you sign together with your internship supervisor that details what your responsibilities are, what your internship supervisor's responsibilities are, and as well as what we here at Beyond Barnard take care of. And that, of course, is the funding as well as the programmatic support. We also ask you to write a very brief thank you letter. All of the all the funding that is provided through BBIP is philanthropically raised. So writing a very brief thank you note to the donor is something that we think is important and is also something the donors really appreciate. And lastly, once you're accepted, you're expected to attend some of the Beyond Barnard programming events that we put together for you. If you do not meet these requirements, complete the brief thank you note, sign the program agreement, or attend a programming event, you will be ineligible to receive funding in a future cycle. So here we've got some application information. Again, because this info session is geared towards the summer 2024, you see the application dates for the summer at the top, but also as the spring BBIP cycle is also approaching, I've included those dates at the bottom. But for summer, you'll see that some of these dates overlap with some additional programs I'm going to talk about later in this presentation. February 16th is a key date. BBIP opens then, as well as some other programs. The deadline is well over a month later, March 27th. The idea there being you have ample time to try to figure out and nail down that summer internship. We'll let you know on April 3rd. And then you have between April 3rd and April 12th to let us know if you are accepting the grant. So you can see below there that the spring application timeline, of course, is a bit sooner. Application opens and closes January 8th and 29th, respectively. Notifications that next week on February 7th. And the accept decline deadline is February 14th with orientation that following day. So what do you need to be aware of as you're submitting your BBIP application? You need to give us the organization name, whether or not it's secured. If it's the one that you're going for, please provide it. The approximate start and end dates, keeping in mind that 350 required hours. And if you're receiving any kind of support, monetary or otherwise, let's say a weekly lunch or a subway card, that's something that you'll need to let us know about. And it's also something that we will confirm with your internship supervisor. In terms of what you need to provide additionally, a cover letter and a resume. If you've participated in BBIP before, there is a slight change here to be aware of, which is that the cover letter is something that we would like to see that is for the internship itself. So it should be the cover letter that you submitted to the internship supervisor or whomever else is reviewing cover letters that demonstrates why you were such a great fit for that internship. We want to see how you present yourself for this opportunity. The resume, also something that you will submit or will have submitted to the internship itself, ensuring it's high quality, very few to no typos, of course, professional formatting, and we encourage you to have it reviewed by a peer career advisor here at Beyond Barnard or one of the staff members here through an advising appointment. And keep in mind, you can schedule both appointments with PCAs and staff here at Beyond Barnard through Handshake. So once you're accepted, what does your BBIP experience look like in addition to the internship? You'll receive weekly communication from me about all kinds of upcoming events and opportunities. Some of those opportunities include Instagram takeovers by current interns. We love to see what you're doing, and we love to get that on social media. So many students report getting a better sense of what their internship might look like through seeing it through the eyes of a current intern. We'll offer something called check-in chats with Beyond Barnard staff, that's me, where I'll offer kind of office hours for students to come in and ask me all kinds of questions. I'm here to field your concerns, listen to curiosities, help you navigate conversations you might want to have with other interns, colleagues, or your managers. I'm here to serve as a resource to help you figure out how to professionalize that kind of experience for yourself. We'll host a few alum conversations, sort of very informal roundtables with former BBIP participants. The idea there is for you to get a sense of how their internship impacted their next steps. And it could be that it was definitely a gateway into what happened next for them, or it could be true too that it taught them that that wasn't the path for them and it helped them figure out something else. And lastly, we'll host some professional development series. The ones that we've hosted this semester include how to manage up, that is, how to be in a situation where you need to have conversations and establish sort of the contours of your job with your manager. We hosted another that helped students figure out how to brand themselves, how to pursue their own version of professional storytelling. And the last one that we're hosting today, actually, for fall interns, and we'll have similar versions in the spring and summer, of course, is a big conversation about what a campus or off-campus role is like as a Barnard student with AJ Ehrenstein here at Beyond Barnard. So I'll leave this QR code up briefly to read more about BBIP. That QR code will take you to the BBIP website at Beyond Barnard. And please check back in early January for the website to be updated with the application dates. I provided them here in the slide, and we're going to be getting them up on the website as soon as we can. So that's wrapped up the BBIP portion of this presentation, and now I will briefly move into the 3 remaining programs and funded programs that we offer here. The Liman Law Fellows Program is the next one up, and again, that same syllabus will run through the details, benefits, eligibility, and requirements. So Liman Law Fellows Program is, as it may sound, it is focused on public law, but if it's something that you've heard about before, we want you to take note that the definition of what this public law or public interest might look like has expanded. So this funding and support for internships in this area could include public policy, public law, public advocacy, needs to be work, internships that are at nonprofits or publicly funded organizations that comply with the following requirements there: serve underserved communities, advance social justice in some way, or assist those that cannot afford attorneys. So it doesn't necessarily need to be in a law-driven environment, but anything that addresses the public interest in a way that is community focused is eligible. What's ineligible is any kind of clerical work for a judge or an academic research assistantship of any kind. If you're curious about a position or an internship that you see that you're interested in, but you're not 100% sure, by all means, get in touch with us here at Beyond Barnard. Barnard is very proud to be a part of a very small consortium of schools that is supported by the Liman Foundation. And you can see there the other schools that also host this program. So what are the benefits and how are you eligible for Liman? You receive a $5,000 stipend over the course of the summer. And again, like BBIP, you are eligible for subsidized on-campus housing. This program is New York City based. These internships need to be located here in the city of New York. In terms of who is eligible, any student entering their sophomore, junior, or senior year, so that's to say you can have graduated and still participate in this program. Any major is welcome, and there does not need to be an intention to apply to law school. So we don't want the name of the program, the Liman Law Fellows Program, to dissuade you by any means if law school is not in your future. A key factor here that is important is that over the 8 to 10 weeks of internship that you participate in, it does need to be in person. It's not, remote work is not eligible. And again, it should be at a publicly funded or nonprofit public interest, social service, cultural, or government agency. So as you can see, the common thread there is an organization that serves the public. So in addition to the stipend, potential for on-campus housing, the 8 to 10 weeks of work, you will also complete a final report about your experience that will be due to the Liman Foundation at the conclusion of your program. And something we think is exceptionally exciting is that there is a colloquium at Yale Law School on April 4th, which will include the Liman Law Fellows from all of those previously indicated schools. And we really want to see in your application that you're excited to attend this event. And of course, the costs there are covered. So what does the application look like? It will open on January 11th and close on February 16th. So just about a month there. We know that January 11th is before the semester starts, but given the earlier timeline and the fact that we really would like you to attend the colloquium on April 4th, we need to bring the application dates up a bit. So in the application itself, you'll be asked why you're a good candidate for the program, and we'll ask you to talk to us about your passion for public service. A very select number of applicants will be interviewed, and we'd like you again to keep in mind that you need to indicate a strong desire to participate in the colloquium on April 4th at Yale. And we'll let you know about a month in advance whether or not you've been accepted by early March. Again, I'll leave this QR code up here briefly for you so you can get to the Liman Law Fellows page at Beyond Barnard. And again, check back for the application form in early January. So last, very much not least here, I want to very briefly give you some information about these two new projects or two new internship programs here at Beyond Barnard. Again, the Zwas Community Impact Interns and the Richards Journalism Internship. You can see there with Zwas that we are providing funding and support for internships in nonprofit, New York City-based organizations. It's a pretty broad definition that it's just a nonprofit and it's just based here in New York City. There is a preference for those nonprofits that are local to the area. So of course that is Morningside Heights here, as well as Harlem. And the journalism internship, the Richards Journalism Internship is what it sounds like, funding and support for New York City-based journalism internships. So something to keep in mind is both of these programs are both New York City-based. And the idea of what a nonprofit is for Zwas, as well as what journalism is for Richard, can be pretty wide-ranging. So journalism can mean anything from a traditional newspaper to a variety of different kinds of online platforms or magazines. If you have questions about what might constitute journalism, again, get in touch with us here at Beyond Barnard. I'm very excited about these two new programs. So again, here is, I think, a great wrap up of the application timelines. So Liman there is in its separate category because it's a bit early. Again, it opens January 11th, closes the 16th of February. We'll notify by early March, and you'll let us know if you accept or decline the program by March 8th. For BBIP, Zwas and Richards, you see February 16th is a key date there. All 3 applications open that day, which is the same day that Liman closes. These 3 BBIPs, Zwas and Richards, close on the 27th of March. We'll notify you in early April, and you have to let us know by April 12th. There will be a separate info session also uploaded here to YouTube about the Growing the Arts summer program. And we just wanted to indicate, so you had all the application timelines in one place, that like BBIP, Zwas and Richards, it also opens February 16th. But because of some of the program requirements, it does close a bit earlier there on March 10th. If you're interested in receiving updates about any of the 2024 summer programs, please fill out the Google form that is at this QR code. You might have already filled it out, which is how you got either to this info session or to this recording. If you have, that's great. You don't need to do it again. But we will be using those who have filled out that form. We'll include those in our mailing list. So if you're interested in receiving updates about applications opening and closing, please fill out that form. And as always, keep your eye on the BBIP weekly newsletter that goes out on Wednesdays. So that's it for me. Again, I'm Stephanie here at Beyond Barnard. If you have questions about any of these programs, please feel free to email us at beyondbarnard@barnard.edu. We're excited to support you through your application process and answer your questions. Thanks so much.